Hello my TBDs, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about foundations that I haven't used in a very long time. I haven't seen this necessarily on YouTube before, but I'm calling it a foundation deep dive, where I'm going back, trying out foundations that I have in my collection that I haven't used in a very, very long time, and I'm testing them out for a few days at a time to really get my thoughts around my foundations, because to be honest with you, some of these I really do not remember my thoughts. So if you guys are enjoying this and you want me to do another one, because I definitely have more foundations to go through, then let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe because I do upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So let's go ahead, hop in. I have my notes here on my phone of what I think of the foundations. I have 10 here exactly. So my goal was to review like 5 to 10 foundations at a time, and I'm just basically going to give you my thoughts. I have oily skin, so that's the lens that I am looking through when I'm considering and wearing a foundation. I'm just going to go down the list. First, let's start with Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I have a review video of this. I have a review video of a couple of these foundations. These are like my updated thoughts. So if you want to know my like current thoughts about these foundations, be sure to watch this video because I think I tried this a very long time ago. My first note says no, just no. It's patchy. It's way too light for me. It looks not too light in the container, but then when you take it out, it is like pale. And it's not even that it's the foundation shade, because number one, the foundation is too light for me, but it is, I don't even know how to say it. You put on more and it just looks patchier. Like it is not a consistent coverage all the way around your face. It would rub off my cheeks and it would look really red. I'd add more to it. It would look like it was just sitting on top of my skin instead of sinking into my skin like I like foundations to do. This foundation is weirdly drying. Like I have oily skin and it looks dry on my skin. It looks flaky and like patchy, and it just sits on top of your skin. It's just not flattering. I don't remember it wearing a great amount of time, but I just can't get over when I first put this on the skin. It looks so bad. So I cannot do this. I'm gonna get rid of this one, and it's just a no for me. Next foundation I tried out was the Tarte Shape Tape Matte Foundation. Who remembers these? These are the ones with the doe foot applicators here that I don't think they make anymore. But a long time ago, they came out with a Tarte Hydrating and a Tarte Matte Foundation. I believe that these foundations have been replaced. This formula is really, really good for oily skin. Every time I looked at my face when I was wearing this foundation, I really liked the formula, but the tone was really yellow. Like it just made me look really, really yellow. And I think it also broke me out a little bit when I woke up after wearing this foundation. Like the next day, I did have some breakouts that weren't there the day before. So I do really like the formula, but I think I'm also gonna have to get rid of this too. Like I just don't see myself using it. And that's the thing, is like I don't even feel like I can use it on camera because it's not even a thing anymore. So Tarte Hydrating Foundation. This is the same as the one before it, but it just is the hydrating formula. This looks super natural on the skin. It's a little oily in my T-zone when you first put it on, but I did like the finish when you first apply it. However, I always had to use a blotting sheet like multiple times throughout the day. I would say if you have combination or dry skin, you would like this foundation a lot more than I did. This is, I think, unfortunately also a no-go for me. It's a bummer because it's just a bummer. Next, I retested out the CoverFX Power Play Foundation. I really, really like this for keeping me matte. I really feel like it does a good job staying on my skin. It doesn't rub off throughout the day. It's very long lasting. The only thing I hate is this packaging. Like, how are you supposed to squeeze this out? It's just it's confusing of a bottle. It's like a squeeze tube, but you have to squeeze this really hard container to get it out. So that's the only downfall of this foundation. In terms of formula for oily skin, I think it's really good. I'm gonna continue to wear it. Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. Who remembers this? This is like huge and bulky and glass and not necessary. When I'm looking at other foundations, like in terms of newer foundations with better packaging, I definitely think this is not a foundation you can travel with. I think you have to be very careful with it. I've like knocked it over multiple times, scared it's gonna break. It just feels very heavy and glass. This does have a doe foot applicator, like the Tarte foundations. So this gave me a very natural, pretty, your skin but better type of finish on my skin. It was a good medium coverage, but you can build it up a little bit if you need. I was a little oily at the end of the day, but that's okay. It wasn't like uncontrollable. I would definitely say it made me less oily than the Tarte Hydrating foundation. And I just think this is a really good foundation for the spring, summer months where you want something a little bit lighter. I'm actually almost completely out of this, so I'm gonna continue to use it and use the rest of this foundation up and then buy a new one at the drugstore because it is really good. It is more of a high-end like drugstore foundation. Physicians Formula is just, it can be really expensive, so just keep that in mind if you are thinking of buying that foundation. Next, I retried the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Foundation. Who remembers this? This doesn't even have a pump. I don't even know where I got this. I think I ordered it online. So this was similar to me to the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. This was very long lasting. It didn't sink into my fine lines at the end of the day. I didn't have like forehead lines up here like I'm getting with this. This gave me a really natural finish on the skin, like a little bit more coverage than the Physicians Formula foundation, but I do really like it. I'm gonna keep it because it is a little darker and I can wear it during the summertime. And yeah, I just really like it. I think that oily skin can definitely wear this as long as you put a mattifying primer and a mattifying powder on top, but it just looks really nice. All right, getting down to the last few. This is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear foundation. This is the darkest foundation I own. I'm like looking back, I'm like, Kate, what are you even doing? Why are you buying foundations this dark? You are not this color 90% of the year. But yeah, definitely the darkest foundation I own. I actually have to like mix this in with something because it is just too dark for me. So that could have adjusted the formula, but what I remember of it, it is very matte, very smoothing. Kind of reminds me of the Revlon Colorstay that I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the video. In terms of formula, it seems very similar to me to the Revlon. It's nice packaging. It's got a pump, which is great. It was expensive. I don't know if I would necessarily repurchase this foundation, but I do think I'm gonna continue to wear it throughout these next couple months while I am a little bit more tan than I normally am. I'm gonna take advantage of it. It was just really smoothing, very matte. It was a little heavy throughout the day, but not too bad. All right, this is the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. You guys, I love this foundation mixed in with the Maybelline Fit Me. There are a few things I don't like about this foundation. Number one, the shade range. This is the lightest shade and it's still darker than I am right now, which is insane. The shade range is not great. It actually really sucks. Number two, it's not even like available anymore, so I can't really use this a whole lot on camera, and it's just, I'm like, should I even use this because it's been out for so long and it's been gone in the world for so long? I don't even know if I should use this anymore. I did really like it mixed in with the Maybelline Fit Me, and it looked smooth, it kept me matte, but just for how long I've had it, how long it's been discontinued, and the shade range, it's really hard to make this foundation work for my skin tone, so I'm gonna have to say goodbye. This is the Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Foundation. This is a foundation that I really enjoy because it doesn't look super heavy on the skin. This is one of my most smoothing foundations that I do own. It's got really nice packaging. It's glass, so it can break, you know, it's not like the best for travel, but this is very, very smoothing. It did feel a little heavy on the skin. I mean, it's like a high medium coverage matte foundation, so you're gonna feel it on your skin a little bit. This is definitely also my summer shade. Yeah, it's really dark for me, so I'm gonna have to wear it during the summer. This lasts a very long time on my skin. It looks really great even at the very end of the day. It was really soft looking, flattering on my skin. It controlled my oil. It did allow a little bit of oil to come through, so I think at the end of the day, my skin looked a little bit more glowy. Like, it's not a full-on matte foundation. It's not like the Colorstay that I'm gonna talk about. It is a very much a soft matte kind of foundation. If you're more like combination, you might enjoy this a lot more than if you are super, super oily, because it's not going to keep you 100% matte throughout the day. But I do really like this. I just go back to it over and over because I'm like, I love how my skin looks with this on. All right, this is the Revlon Colorstay. This is the very last foundation I'm going to talk about in this video. This controls my oil like no one's business. You guys, if you have oily skin, this is going to be your best friend. It is incredibly matte. It doesn't feel heavier than other foundations. Like, it feels I could feel it on my skin a little bit, but it's not uncomfortable or anything. I'm wearing it on my skin today. It does have really good coverage. I'd say like high, medium, almost full coverage, and it's buildable. I don't know why I got the shade I did. This is sand beige. This is definitely not my shade, but it does a really, really good job at keeping my foundation in place throughout the day. If you're someone that works really long hours or works overnights or just has really long days where you need your makeup to last, I would really recommend this foundation. It goes well mixing with other foundations too. So if you want a little bit, I don't know, more of a natural finish and not so matte, you can definitely mix this in with another foundation that has a natural finish. You could add some oil to it, whatever you need to do. I think even wearing it on its own, it does look very nice, very pretty on the skin. It is, I would say, a little bit more full coverage than I'm used to every day. For combination oily skin and my super oily girls out there, girls and guys, you have to try this because it is just like a staple, holy grail. Like, I don't think this is ever gonna not be a good foundation at the drugstore. I kept 6 foundations and I'm getting rid of 4. So I think that's pretty good. That's like less than half, but almost half. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. I will link all of these foundations in the description box below in case you missed any of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.